We're going to read more Where the Sidewalk Ends, Poems and Drawings by Shel Silverstein. And we're going to pick up where we left off. The Farmer and the Queen. "She's coming," the farmer said to the owl. "Oh, what shall I do? Shall I bow when she comes? Shall I twiddle my thumbs?" The owl asked. "Who?" The queen, the royal queen. She'll pass the farm today. Shall I salute?" he asked the horse. The horse said nay. "Shall I give her a gift?" he asked the wren. "A lovely memento for her to keep. An egg or a peach or an ear of corn." The wren said, "Cheep." "Oh, but should I curtsy or should I cheer? Oh, here's her carriage now. What should I do?" he asked the dog. The dog said, "Bow." And so he did. And so she passed. Oh, tra-la-la-la, la-la-la. "She smiled, she did," he told the sheep. The sheep said, "Ma." Pancake. Who wants a pancake, sweet and piping hot? Good little Grace looks up and says, "I'll take the one on top." Who else wants a pancake fresh off the griddle? Terrible Teresa smiles and says, "I'll take one in the middle." Smart. My dad gave me $1 bill 'cause I'm his smartest son, and I swapped it for 2 shiny quarters 'cause 2 is more than 1. And then I took the quarters and traded them to Lou for 3 dimes. I guess he don't know that 3 is more than 2. Just then along came old blind Bates, and just 'cause he can't see, he gave me 4 nickels for my 3 dimes, and 4 is more than 3. And I took the nickels to Hiram Coombs down at the seed feed store, and the fool gave me 5 pennies for them, and 5 is more than 4. And then I went and showed my dad, and he got red in the cheeks and closed his eyes and shook his head, too proud of me to speak. Us. Me and him, him and me. We're always together, as you can see. I wish he'd leave so I'd be free. I'm getting a little bit tired of he. And he may be a bit bored with me. Oh, movies and ladies, we cannot agree. I like to dance, he loves to ski. He likes the mountains, I love the sea. I like hot chocolate, he wants his tea. I want to sleep, he has to pee. He's meaner and duller and fatter than me, but I guess there's worse things we could be. Instead of 2, we could be 3. He and me and him and me. I'm making a list. I'm making a list of things I must say for politeness, and goodness and kindness and gentleness, sweetness and rightness. Hello, pardon me, how are you? Excuse me, bless you. May I? Thank you, goodbye. If you know some that I forgot, please stick them in your eye. Me and my giant. I have a friend who is a giant, and he lives where the tall weeds grow. He's high as a mountain and wide as a barn, and I only come up to his toe, you know. I only come up to his toe. When the daylight grows dim, I talk with him way down in the marshy sands, and his ear is too far away to hear, but he understands, he stands. I know he understands. For we have a code called the Scratch Tap Code, and here is what we do. I scratch his toe once means hello, and twice means how are you. 3 means does it look like rain? 4 times means don't cry. 5 times means I'll scratch you a joke. And 16 means goodbye. Goodbye. 6 times means goodbye. And he answered me by tapping his toe. Once means hello, friend. 2 taps means it's very nice to feel your scratch again. 3 taps means it's lonely here with my head in the top of the sky. 4 taps means today an eagle smiled as she flew by. 5 taps means oops, I just bumped my head against the moon. 6 means sigh, and 7 means bye, and 8 means come back soon, soon, soon. 8 means come back soon. And then I scratch 1,000 times, and he taps with his bippity-bim, and he laughs so hard he shakes the sky. That means I'm tickling him. Rain. I opened my eyes and looked up at the rain, and it dripped in my head and flowed into my brain. And all that I hear as I lie in my bed is the slishly slosh of the rain in my head. I step very softly, I walk very slow, I cannot do a handstand. I might overflow. So pardon the wild, crazy things I just said. I'm just not the same since there's rain in my head. 2 boxes. 2 boxes met upon the road, said one unto the other, if you're a box and I'm a box, then you must be my brother. Our sides are thin, we're caving in, and we must get no thinner. And so 2 boxes hand in hand went home to have their dinner. True story. This morning I jumped on my horse and I went out for a ride, and some wild outlaws chased me and they shot me in the side. So I crawled into a wildcat's cave to find a place to hide, but some pirates found me sleeping there and soon they had me tied to a pole and built a fire. Under me I almost cried, till a mermaid came and cut me loose and begged me to be my bride. So I said I'd come back Wednesday, but I must admit I lied. And then I ran into a jungle swamp, but I forgot my guide. And I stepped into some quicksand, and no matter how I tried, I couldn't get out until I met a water snake named Clyde, who pulled me to some cannibals who planned to have me fried. But an eagle came and swooped me up, and though through the air we flied. But I dropped me in boiling lake 1,000 miles wide, and you'll never guess what I did then. I died. Boa constrictor. Oh, I'm being eaten by a boa constrictor, a boa constrictor, a boa constrictor. I'm being eaten by a boa constrictor, and I don't like it one bit. Well, what do you know? It's nibbling my toe. Oh, gee, it's up to my knee. Oh, my, it's up to my thigh. Oh, fiddle, it's up to my middle. Oh, heck, it's up to my neck. Oh, dread, it's up to... Hector the Collector. Hector the Collector collected bits of string, collected dolls with broken heads and rusty bells that would not ring, pieces out of picture puzzles, bent up nails and ice cream sticks, twists of wire, worn out tires, paper bags and broken bricks, old chipped vases, half shoelaces, Gatling guns that wouldn't shoot, leaky boats that wouldn't float, and stopped up horns that wouldn't toot. Butter knives that had no handles, copper keys that fit no locks, rings that were too small for fingers, dried up leaves and patched up socks, workout belts that had no buckles, electric chains that had no tracks, airplane models, broken bottles, 3-legged chairs and cups with cracks. Hector the Collector loved these things with all his soul, loved them more than shining diamonds, loved them more than glistening gold. Hector called to all the people, come and share my treasure trunk, and all the silly, sightless people came and looked and called it junk. Invention. done it. I've done it. Guess what I've done? Invented a light that plugs into the sun. The sun is bright enough, the bulb is strong enough, but oh, there's only one thing wrong. The cord ain't long enough. The Googies are coming. The Googies are coming, the old people say, to buy little children and take them away. 50 cents for fat ones, 20 cents for lean ones, 15 cents for dirty ones, 30 cents for clean ones, a nickel each for mean ones. The Googies are coming, and maybe tonight, to buy little children and lock them up tight. 80 cents for husky ones, a quarter for the weak ones, penny each for nosy ones, $1 for the meek ones, 40 cents for happy ones, 11 cents for sad ones, and kitties, when they come to buy, it won't do any good to cry, but just between yourself and I, they never buy the bad ones. Don't worry. Nobody will buy you. It's okay. For sale. One sister for sale, one sister for sale, one crying and sprying young sister for sale. I'm really not kidding. So who'll start the bidding? Do I hear $1, a nickel, a penny? Oh, isn't it there? Isn't it there? There isn't any. One kid who will buy this old sister for sale, this crying and spying young sister for sale. Oh, that poor sister, she's not happy. And this will be the last two that I do. Sleeping sardines. I'm tired of eating just beans, says I, so I opened a can of sardines. But they started to squeak. Hey, we're trying to sleep. We're snuggled up tight till you let in the light, you big silly sap. Let us finish our nap. Now close up the lid. So that's what I did. Will somebody please pass the beans? 1 inch tall. If you were only 1 inch tall, you'd ride a worm to school. The teardrop of a crying ant would be your swimming pool. A crumb of cake would be a feast last you 7 days at least. A flea would be a frightening beast if you were 1 inch tall. If you were only 1 inch tall, you'd walk beneath the door, and it would take about a month to get down to the store. A bit of fluff would be your bed. You'd swing upon a spider's thread and wear a thimble on your head. If you were 1 inch tall, you'd surf across the kitchen sink upon a stick of gum. You couldn't hug your mama. You just have to hug her thumb. You'd run from people's feet in fright. To move a pin would take all night. This poem took 14 years to write, 'cause I'm just 1 inch tall. All right. And that's it for tonight. Good night. I love you.